Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's Quantum Sparks. Today, we're going to talk about language alchemy. The reason we put this class together on this date is because it's Halloween week. And it's a time when stories of witches and wizards remind us of something timeless, and that is that words are spells. Every syllable you speak casts energy into the field. Every sentence becomes a vibration that ripples into the people, the places, and the possibilities around you. We've been taught that magic is make believe, but in truth, we cast spells every day with our language. When we say, I can't, we bind ourselves to that. When we say, I will, we conjure movement. When we say, I am, we summon our identity. Today, we're going to explore the art and science of that magic, how words hold frequency, how vibration becomes form, and how to speak in ways that align energy instead of scattering it. Because whether you're whispering to yourself, guiding a client, or leading a team, your words are always writing the next chapter of your reality. The question isn't whether your words have power, it's whether you're wielding that power consciously. So let's get started with quantum sparks today. As always, knowledge is not power, execution is power. So make sure that you are, I'm going to go backwards, my whole presentation. There we go. I'm going to reshare because my presentation got fast forwarded a little. Okay, so the quote of the day, your words become your world, Nadim Kazi. And as I was saying, knowledge is not power, execution is power. So make sure you have a pen and paper available and you take notes so that you can go execute after today's program. So let's talk about how the universe works. The universe responds to vibration, not vocabulary. And language is architecture. What we speak, we build. The law of vibration says that everything moves and nothing rests. Everything is energy. Even the things that look like they're solid, they are energy. Everything is energy, including the words that we use. Words are a frequency, and that frequency transmits emotion and intent. So, what are the pieces of our language that create this frequency? It's a little bit of everything. It's the tone and the pitch, the sound. It is the emotion behind our words and how they make other people feel, not only how we feel when we are transmitting, but also emotion when we are receiving. Also, the the energy of the beliefs or interpretations that we have around the words. Intent, of course, is always embedded in every energy exchange. And then context. In what way are we embedding the words we use? In what context are we using the words? So if you change words, you change energy and you change reality. By the way, there's experiments about how words carry vibration, not only in water. So Dr. Emoto, there's books written about how Dr. Emoto did experiments on how water crystallized based on the words that were used around the water. So imagine putting water into a dish and then speaking words to the water, good words or bad words or angry words, and then what the water crystallization looked like depending on the energy of the words used. Um, so he exposed the water to various words and music and thoughts, then froze it and examined the crystals. And he showed that the emotional frequency or intentional energy directed at the water changed the way that the crystals form. So when it was words and vibration that was love and gratitude, they were beautiful, symmetrical, snowflake-like shapes. When it was angry words, it was deformed or chaotic or broken crystal structures. As well, similar experiments were done on plants. We've talked about this in past quantum sparks classes as well, that there were experiments, they called them the IKEA bullying experiment, where they did experiments to see, just like with water, do words and do those affect a living plant? And the answer is yes. So all of these are designed to show that the words we use and how we utilize our language has an energy that affects all things around us, not only the people around us, but the plants, our entire environment. And the study of this is called sematics, the study of like how sound and vibration creates visible patterns in matter. Not only does the energy affect our consciousness through energy, but also it releases neurochemicals within us. So we have a chemical reaction from the energy that is transmitted towards us when we exchange words. So think about how powerful that is. And that's kind of how we started today, is no wonder that it has been said that words can cast spells. It can change people. And we think of that like, oh, that's a Halloween thing. That's like something mystical. But in reality, we do it every day with our words and our speech and the language that we use, because we change the energy around us. We transmit vibration through our words, and that vibration then creates a chemical reaction in the people around us. So every conversation is an energy exchange. Now, one of the most important pieces that I hope you take away from today is that the most important conversation you have each day is the one with yourself. So all day, each of us is having conversations with ourselves through the form of self-talk, just conversations in our head. And we don't want to lose sight of the fact that the words we use create an energy and a vibration, most importantly within ourselves. So of course we do influence the outside world through our words, but we also influence our inside world. And that is most important because that affects everything in our environment. So your self-talk shapes your biology. It shapes who you become. Your self-talk affects your potential. You speak reality into existence. You speak life into your business, your clients, and yourself. Energy expands and contracts depending on the frequency and the consciousness behind it. So through our words, we can expand and contract energy. So high frequency words, such as when energy vibrates at a high frequency, these are words of love, joy, gratitude, inspiration, creativity. These are words of creation, of expansion. These words expand because they radiate outward, influencing and uplifting everything these words touch. So the expansion feels like openness or lightness, possibility, and flow. High vibration words make people feel more open and more connected. The opposite is true of low frequency words. So when energy vibrates at a lower frequency, fear, shame, guilt, anger, resentment, it contracts. It becomes dense, pulling inward, restricting movement, limiting perspective. Think about how when you hear certain words, sometimes a certain word can just give you a pit in your stomach. That's a low vibration word having an effect on you. And one of the pieces to think about as you leave today's program is being hyper aware of the words we use, especially in the business that we're in, because some of the words we use are low vibration, such as the word contract, and that there are words that you can use instead that are higher vibration, which means that you're infusing a higher vibration into the transactions and into the people that you're working with when buying and selling real estate. So, high frequency words expand energy, low frequency words contract it. Awareness allows you to choose your vibration consciously, and that choice shapes every outcome. The key is conscious regulation, choosing expansion when you want to connect or create or inspire, and noticing the contraction as an indicator that something might need realignment. So you can change the trajectory of your entire life. You can change the trajectory of your business. You can change the trajectory of your environment, literally everything, by simply noticing the words you use and having an awareness about the vibration of the word. So let's take a look at some of the words and how just a slight shift can change the entire meaning and the entire energy. So, for example, instead of telling yourself or other people, I have to do this, imagine just shifting the vibration of that to I get to. So, instead of I have to go drive my kids around to hockey practice after school, I get to drive my kids around to hockey practice after school. Instead of I have to do this CMA for a customer that just called me, imagine shifting that to I get to do this CMA for a client that just called me. Instead of I have to go show houses Saturday morning, I get to show houses Saturday morning. This is a shift into gratitude. Instead of focusing on being forced to do something, I get to do something. So a shift into gratefulness. Oh, we shifted ahead. Okay, next one. I can't. So this is when you say I can't, especially to yourself, it's a low vibration word. I can't. Instead, how about I choose not to? This is really important because, especially when it comes to finances, when you're thinking to yourself that I can't go buy a new car, because I can't comes from lack, that you cannot do something, it comes from lack. Instead of saying to yourself, I choose not to. I choose not to buy a car right now, instead of I can't buy a car right now. Because in reality, you can do whatever you want to do. You're just choosing not to do it right now. So shifting from I can't to choosing not to, you put yourself back into the driver's seat. Instead of I'm trying, I'm doing. Trying again takes control away from you. It's saying that you're stuck. You don't have a choice. Whereas doing is all about the fact that you have the choice and you get the opportunity to pursue something. Problems are really opportunities. You don't want to live in a world of problems. A problem is low vibration. That doesn't sound great. But opportunity, which really every problem is truly an opportunity when you look back at the silver linings that presented the greatest opportunities in your life, most problems in the end are truly opportunity. So embrace it as an opportunity as they are presented. Instead of looking at yourself as being busy all the time, busy is low vibration. Productive is high vibration. Instead of saying, I hope that this is going to happen, how about trust that it's going to happen? I hope that I'm going to end the year on a high note. How about trust that the year is going to end in a high note. Totally different vibrations. Instead of saying I'm going to be a high producer. How about I am a high performing real estate agent? Live as if you already are, because as soon as you put something into the universe, you begin to become it. So it's not something in the future, I'm going to. You are already that person. I am is the vibration that you want to be working from. So when it comes to language and the words we use and the spells we cast upon ourselves and others through the language that we utilize, awareness will precede mastery. This is not something that you can change overnight, but imagine just spending a couple of weeks being super aware of the words you're using so that you can begin to master new words, casting new spells in your life and those around you. So, in order to garner that mastery, you first must become aware, which means you have to start pausing before you speak. Silence vibrates higher than reaction. So instead of automatically speaking in conversations, just stop, listen to what the other person is saying, and pause for just a moment while you think about the words you want to articulate and think about whether there's a higher vibration word that could be used to create a higher vibration conversation. Only speak from alignment. So let's talk about some vibration of some of the words that we utilize in real estate and how small transitions of words can help raise the vibration of a real estate transaction. So the business of real estate is truly the business of energy. We are in an energetic business. So the words we use create trust, comfort, and connection. Clients feel vibration before they feel logic. They sense safety, authenticity, they sense comfort before anything else. They're feeling the vibration before they truly get to know you. But you can enhance the vibration just simply by paying attention to the language you're using. High vibration language attracts and low vibration language repels. So, for example, one big one that we use a lot in our business is the word contract. Contract is a really low vibration word. People have that, there are many people that just have that pit in their stomach when that word is utilized. So, for example, instead of using the word contract, move to a higher vibration word like the word agreement, because contract vibrates with force, legalism, and for many, it vibrates with pressure. Agreement vibrates with alignment, harmony, and partnership. Everybody wants agreement. So instead of saying, sign the contract, instead say, let's review your agreement, because that feels collaborative, not adversarial. How about the word home and house? The house vibrates at a lower frequency than the word home. House refers to a structure. Home carries warmth, belonging, heart. So instead of saying, let's go start looking for your next house, we're going to say, we're going to begin finding your next home, because that evokes emotion and safety. Another word that carries a lower vibration is sign, like, hey, sign here. Instead, use endorse or approve. The word sign feels transactional, whereas endorse honors choice and empowerment. So instead of saying sign the contract, you'll say once you endorse the agreement, we'll move forward. How about marketing fee versus visibility investment? So, for example, some agents, instead of using the word commission, by the way, commission in itself is a low vibration word. it's truly an investment. So definitely, the word commission is low vibration. People are investing in you. People like making investments. Investments are wise. But even the word marketing fee is anything with the word commission or fee. These are low vibration words. So really, if somebody's paying you a marketing fee, really they're investing in visibility for the property. So the word fee it vibrates low, like a loss. Somebody's losing something when they're paying a fee, whereas investment vibrates like growth. So instead of saying my marketing fee, consider something like your investment in visibility helps us attract the highest offers. Also, not a great word for vibration is the word lead. Instead of talking about leads coming in, how about connections or relationships that are coming in? Leads feels cold and objectified. Connections honor humanity. So instead of cultivating leads, I'm cultivating relationships. I'm not chasing leads. Instead of the word prospect, use future client or possibility. Prospect feels like pursuit. Possibility feels open and mutual. How about instead of price reduction, we say market alignment? Again, reduction vibrates with loss. Somebody's losing something. Alignment vibrates with clarity. That in reality, that is what's happening. It is not necessarily a price reduction. It is a market alignment. We're aligning the price to the market energy. So small shifts in the words you use, because you're casting spells with every word you use, and the most important person you're casting spells with is yourself. So remember that when you speak from the frequency you wish to attract, your life will mirror your energy. And we'll end today with this quote: be careful how you speak to yourself, because you are listening, from Lisa Hayes. So you can check out all of our previous Quantum Sparks classes at laerrealty.com/Quantum Sparks. And as always, if there's a topic you would enjoy us covering in future classes, you can go to laerrealty.com/ask anything. And wishing everybody a wonderful week of spells this Halloween week. So happy Halloween, everyone. Have a great week.